SalesCrunch. Learn more, earn more.
PTB, which is pretend to be. And it's basically a form of modeling people. But it has far-reaching ramifications, which I'll tell you in a minute. But basically, the way that you do it and the way you want to use it is this. First, you want to choose the 3 best clients you have. Now, it's not about the 3 most profitable, or not necessarily about the 3 most profitable clients you have. You want to choose the 3 clients that if you could replicate them, the 3 clients that you love most, and say, if I could replicate this person, and their circumstances over and over and over and over again, these would be the 3 people, that I would love to spend more time with. These would be types of people, that being the key word. These are the types of people that I'd love to spend more time with. Now, and also, obviously get to know them better, but the key piece being that, the types of people you're looking for. Now, after you have chosen these 3 people, you model them outside of work. Modeling basically means, in this situation, it means really, literally pretending to be them. Now, you will give your family and your friends a heads up, but basically you're going to pretend as if they have possessed you. Their soul, their brain has possessed you, and you are now them. As a matter of fact, you've changed bodies, minds, everything. You are now them in your situation. So, if you're going to choose, one of your clients, let's say she's Sally, you're going to get in your car after work, or when you're leaving a client, whatever, and you're away from everybody else. You start modeling her. What would Sally think if she was in my car? How would she feel about it? She normally drives an Aston Martin. I'm driving the Honda Civic. Whatever it is, how would she be reacting? What would she be saying? Who would she be calling? Now, don't go calling Sally's friends, obviously, but up to that point, in your reality, you keep modeling and pretending to be Sally. Go home. What would Sally say about being in your house? What would Sally say about eating your dinner? How would she feel about eating your dinner? What would she watch when she sat down to watch television? Would she watch what you normally watch, action adventure, or would she watch, the crime channel or something like that? It doesn't mean you're right or wrong. You might say, well, Erik, I don't know the answers to most of these questions. It's not about knowing the answers to the questions. It's about intuiting. You might be right on, you might be right off, but what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to pretend to be this person and starting to get into their reality more and more, creating a bridge reality. You're bridging your reality to their reality. And what you're going to see is that their reality will start to spill over naturally into your reality. How you react, how you think, what you do, etc., is all going to start changing based upon this experience that you're going through, pretending to be this person. As this happens, you then want to look for changes in yourself. Why? You want to keep track of them. Why? Because how you feel is how they feel. You have now assimilated this person, and when you're connected with them, when you're talking with them, you're going to have a far greater understanding of them. You're going to fall into rapport faster with them. This is going to have even better effects. Here's why. Because once you have done this process, you will have the 4 C's of rapport. 1, compassion, because you have now walked in their shoes. Now, again, this was make-believe in your head, but you have walked in their shoes. You have number 2, curiosity. Why? Because you're still curious about what makes them tick. Was I right? Was I wrong? How would they feel about this? How would they feel about that? The more time you spend with somebody, the more interested you become in that person, the more curious you become about that person. Number 3, you have commonality with this person. Why? Because as you pretended to be them, you will start to see if they're people you already like, you already have things in common with them. As you pretend to be them, you will lock in those common traits. Boy, we both like this beer. Boy, we really like this car. Boy, we're both Jets fans. Whatever it is, you will have that commonality. And 4th, you will have commitment. You've committed to this process, which means you're committed to your current clients. But more importantly, you have actually committed to your future clients before you even have met them. What does that mean? Well, there's a thing called the reticular activating system, and you will have now activated your reticular activating system. You will have now engaged it. Now, what the reticular activating system is it's a part of your brain that when you focus on something and have a desire for it, an interest in it, it will start to show up. The greatest example, the easiest example is if the last time that you saw a really cool car for the first time, somebody showed you their new, VW Bug or something. You said, wow, this is great, I've never seen this before. And then the next day you go out driving and you see 18 of them as you drive to work. They were always there. You just weren't looking for them. But when you activate your reticular activating system, and you do this unconsciously, it's not a conscious thing. When you do this unconsciously, your unconscious starts looking for it, again, far faster than your conscious mind is looking for it. And it'll start pulling it out of all the things around you, out of all the stimuli around you. It will start to pull out, to put into bold, to put a spotlight on all those things that you're very interested in. So now you will actually start to see prospects everywhere. Prospects that you can now much more quickly build rapport with. Why? Because you have been pretending to be a version of them already. You are 90% of the way to having rapport with human beings. You haven't even freaking met yet. So when you start talking to them, building that rapport, understanding it, getting that comment, all that stuff, getting into their reality is going to be much faster and far easier for you. And that is what you're ultimately going for. You have now addressed and achieved the 4 C's of rapport. Which brings us to the closing here. Now the question is, are you and your sales team using rapport in every aspect of sales? As you've seen, rapport is very powerful, and rapport actually has even further reaching abilities to help you with your sales than we've even discussed here today. After all, are you using it to position you and your messages for more lead generation? Are you using it to help clients tell you the problems they are willing to pay to solve? Are you using it to get past the whole issue of the signing of the check so that you can get on to actually solving their problems and building a deeper relationship with them and helping them to improve their lives or their businesses? Well, the sad truth is that most of the people that I work with aren't using rapport at all in these areas. So if you aren't using rapport in these areas, then I'd like to offer you a rapport leverage analysis. Now, I'd love to be able to do this for everybody, and the analysis basically is coming in and I'll talk with you for about an hour, and I'll address these issues: your lead generation, your discussions with your clients, and obviously getting to a quote unquote closed deal. And we'll analyze that and how you are or aren't using rapport. Now, I'd love to be able to do this for everybody. However, there are certain resources, et cetera, that are probably going to be needed to achieve this. So I have to put a certain requirement on it. And in order to qualify, you have to be an executive with a company doing at least $10 million in U.S. dollars currently, have a sales team of at least 5 full-time salespeople, and ultimately also ready to make change now. And the reason is very simple. If you're not ready to make change now, there's no reason for you to be looking at any other resources. The fact of the matter is, if you're watching this presentation, something tells me you have something you want to change. So, if you want to access the analysis, just give us a call at the Guru Selling System here in US Air Canada. It's 973-551-9220, or you can email us at info@guruselling.com, and be sure to ask for the rapport leverage analysis. Anyway, thank you again. I honor your time. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, I am here.
Erik, I just want to say thank you. I hope everyone enjoyed that as much as I did. Before we go on to the Q&A session, I just want to let people know that they will be receiving this presentation in an email after this session concludes. And we also will be posting this video, as with all of our online classes, to our website on Sales School. So they'll also should be sure to sign up for our email alerts, and then they'll know when the video is posted next week. And I also, this is Melissa from SalesCrunch. I just want to thank everyone for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon.
SalesCrunch. Learn more, earn more.